Hey peeps, my name is Naisha and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk to you guys about my thoughts and opinions on Advent number 3, episodes 1 to 2, and whether or not I'm going to continue the book and things like that when the episodes keep coming out. Also, there would be spoilers, so if you want to play this yourself, you can always play this on Romance Club, either on your iPhone or your Android. It doesn't matter. So let's get into it. Now, Advent number 3 is the 47th book released on the mobile game Romance Club. This book will be released in February 2025. It was actually released around the time of the 19th to the 21st of February. The author of this book is Anton A, and this is his first story on this platform. So, Anton, congratulations with this being his first story. Now, about the summary. The summary goes a little something like this. Humanity hides from the Colossi behind towering walls, where oppression has replaced hope, and the protagonist's pursuit of truth uncovers secrets no one is prepared for. Now, like I said, there will be spoilers, so you have been warned. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. When I was first play this, when I first saw this, I was like, I ain't gonna lie, it was giving Attack on Titans. And if you know anything about Attack on Titans, bless your heart. Because, woo, I just started on season 1, and let me tell you, that was a roller coaster in itself. And so, that's all I need to say. But it gives me Attack on Titan vibes just a bit. Not too much, but just a bit. I would like to say that Advent number 3 is a story of its own, and so far I like where it's going. Now, before we meet the person that we're playing, by the way, her default name is Raina Rain, but you can change her name. I know I changed it to Gina. But yeah, but I'm gonna stick with the name Raina Rain for this entire video. Sorry about that, guys. Anywho, so before we meet Raina, we get into what this story is about. We get the backstory of what happened to the world and how it became what it is now. And basically, we find out that something happened, and that first event was Advent number 1, and then after that event, again we get more history, and then we get to Advent number 2, and now we're here and stuff like that. I do want to say I like the backstory. I also again, because here's another reason why I say it gives me Attack on Titan vibes other than the Colossi. Basically, the whole building, the whole structure of where the people are living now, is kind of like a stadium, but like a very huge stadium. It just it is again, like I said, it kind of gives me the similarity to where the people were living in Attack on Titan. That's what it's given. And how there's different cities and things like that, and the names of those cities, because cause your character like face is based on the city. Like each of your characters' faces is based on the cities. I want to see if they have it. They don't. Oh, that sucks. But I know I'm gonna see if I could get them right because you have Art, Expanse, Frontier, and two other ones that I can't think of at the moment. And I like the fact that each of your character, like each face represents a different city in this like big like place that they're in. I forgot like what they call the whole place itself. I forgot like what I don't think they call it. I don't think they really have a whole name for the place, but I do know that this takes present day year 2249 Northern Canada City of Art. That's where our character is, and I want to say that's where her face comes from. I gotta I gotta look back. Like I gotta look at Locum 23, which I suggest you all to check him out because he played it. So if you don't want to play this, but you want to see someone play it, you can always watch Locum 23. Um, I would definitely like link, share a link to his video that he did. He did both episodes, but anywho, I like the fact that, like I said, for each city, the character's face looks different and stuff like that. So I enjoy that part. I also like the fact that we can make our character either athletic or curvy. I chose curvy because baby, I'm curvy. Like, listen, I'm just, I'm just saying. I'm sorry, but like. Like I'm just saying, I'm gonna make sure my character like reflects how I look. Okay, so that's just me. But nah, seriously, because I'm thinking like I just can't see a person being. Well, I can see a person being athletic in this world, but it's like it's nice to have like a realistic body type because it's like I'm just saying, not everybody can be skinny in this world. But but back to like the whole story. Basically, we meet Raina. She used to work in a factory, but she decided to just stop working in the factory and help Maria. I'm thinking that's how she's able to live and get money and stuff like that. And of course, um we meet her friend. I want to say his name is Marcus. I want to say. I want to say his name is. No, not Marcus, Martin. So we meet Raina's friend, Martin, and he's basically like a historian in this world and stuff because they call themselves. I want to say they call themselves an excuse. Yeah, um the Chroniclers of Humanity, which I think that's a long name. Like we can't just call y'all historians. We gotta call you Chroniclers of Humanity. That's too long. We can't even just call you Crons. I'm just saying. But anywho, and of course, Martin doesn't like the fact that um Raina is being used as a guinea pig for Maria's research because her research, and we see a little bit of it. Basically, they use some type of drug, some stimulants, and like they inject her with a stimulant, and then they inject her with the stammer virus, that's what they call it, and to see how her body reacts to it and things of that nature. And, of course, Martin detests that, but, Raina tells him, like, hey, not everybody could be like you. Not everybody could go the route of going to college, of, I guess, having, like, a family that can afford to do things like that and stuff like that, because we still have a class system in this world, unfortunately. And anywho, of course, Martin, he apologizes for like just making Raina, like just pushing his agenda and things on to Raina. But like, she brushes it off and tells him like she sees him later and stuff like that. And so she's on her way to Maria. However, she gets stopped by this commander dude, and we find out that like the guy that stopped her, he works for Xander, who is the corrupt. I forgot what she called him. Um, I forgot what she called Xander. She called him corrupt something. All I know is that he has power, and he's also um he's basically like, giving people stimulants to help them continue to work, because in this world, like, people are still working and they gotta like feed their family and things like that. So he's pushing pills onto them. Well, I don't even think these are pills. It seems like they're like injections, that to me. But anywho, so but like Raina, she doesn't like it. She doesn't like to do it. She does, because she just feels like she's helping Xander kill people. And he was like, they already dying from having to overwork and feed their family and stuff like that. He just helping them out, helping them get more energy and things like that. And of course, you could tell there's some like sexual tension depending on how you play this. Now, if you only prefer women, he'll be like a friend to you. Not be like a friend, but he'll be a friend to you. Like, the relationship you build with him would just be platonic, and y'all be friends. However, if you into both men or women or just men, there will be like, some romancing in this. Not too much though, which is one of the things I like about Romance Club. Like, we get romance, but it's not like bam, bam, bam in our face. It 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 develops slowly, which I like. Not too slowly, but slow enough for us to actually get to know the character and decide if we want our character to either like the person or just be friends with the person. So yeah. So anyway, after she talks to Xander, she goes back to trying to get to Maria. Now, while she's doing that, she sees that there's a lot of people by the train that she's about to take, and she's trying to figure out why no one's on the train and stuff. And we see that there's there's a monitor that people are looking at, and basically news comes, and there are like, even though there are cities, there's also sectors and stuff like that. And so we find out that sector C-152, which is a close sector to the sector that Raina is in, is being attacked by gorgons known as harpies. And one thing I like about Advent number 3 is the fact that not only are they getting attacked by creatures known as Colossi, which they could be 262 feet, I want to say, but they also get attacked by other different creatures. And of course, the government has named these creatures after Greek monsters. Like, I'm talking about Colossi. Sorry. But yeah, the government has named these monsters after Greek mythology, like the Colossi, harpies, gorgons, Hades, and all of that. And so we know that Sector C 152 is being attacked by harpies, and of course Raina and everybody in her sector, I think she's in Sector 162. Yeah. We see that they are seeing like people getting attacked by the harpies, which are basically large bat-looking creatures. And of course the military, they have different divisions, like the 1st, 2nd, 6th division, like they have that type of situation. We see that the soldiers are basically shooting these gorgons, aka harpies, and of course, Raina sees that, like, since people are still like looking at this, there's no way she's going to get on the train, so she has to take like another sort of transportation that's kind of similar to a train. I'm thinking it's a train, but it's another type of train. And of course she has a hassle because, like, that train, it seems like you have to be like somebody important, and of course she's not someone important, she's a commoner. But like, luckily she's able to get to where she needs to get to, which is the lab that Maria is in. And when we meet Maria, now they say Maria is childlike. I'm gonna be honest, Maria is not child. Cause I also watched Local 23 play this, and I agree with him. He was like, "What is so childlike about Maria?" I was trying to figure that too, because Maria just gives a normal looking, like, researcher. Like, that's what she's giving. Like, she's just giving me, like, a normal looking researcher. I don't understand, but okay. Anywho, and of course Maria, she asks us about, Raina, about how she's doing, how she's feeling and stuff, and she kind of wants her and Raina to be friends and things like that. And Raina, she's like, okay, that's like, I feel like Raina, like, I think the one thing I like about Raina is the fact that, like, it just seems like she just is just trying to survive this world. Like, whatever she gotta do to survive, it just seems like she's going to survive. Survive. Sorry about that. It just seemed like she's just going to survive. Like, she does have her own, opinions about things. But other than that, she's going to do what it takes to, again, thrive in this world and stuff like that. And, she's also questioning herself as well. It also depends on what path you choose for her and stuff like that. You could choose, because there's 2 paths. Where one path, she's thinking like, it's for the greater good. The other path, she's thinking like, is it really for the opposite of like thinking it's for the greater good, sacrifice people. She's thinking like, why should we sacrifice people when we should just be free, period, and things like that. And also, not only do we have those paths for her to take, she also has like what her personality is. Like resolve is based on her being firm and grounded, whereas what was the other one? Cunning. She's being you. Wait, is it cunning? I forgot what it's called. I'm trying to think. What is it called? Yeah, cunning. Where she could be like, cunning, a little bit ruthless, and things like that. Oh yeah, it's called like, cause like the path that she could take, cause her personalities, you could either have her being resolved, being cunning, but the path that she takes, which is like, basically, the path what she takes is what the ending of her story, and not only her story, but like what the end game is going to look like and stuff. And so one of the path is dogma, and the other one is renunciation. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, but basically dogma represents a willingness to sacrifice the few for the greater good with a drive for control and authority. Renunciation, a longing to dismantle the existing system, reject the past, and build a new, freer world. And stuff like that. So, I know for her personality, I chose resolve. And for the path that I wanted her to take, I chose renunciation. Now, I know I'm going to play this again, and I said when I do play this again, I'm still going to choose resolve, but I think I'm going to go with dogma, because let me tell you, so far with the second path, because dogma is the first, renunciation is the second, but with the second path, it's just like she kind of like sounds angry when she like talks and stuff. I was like, oh wow, I wasn't trying to have her sound like, angry, like she's about to like, wreak havoc and stuff like that. But I'm still gonna keep it because I'm interested to see what this path will bring her. But back to episode 1. Like I said, I left off with like her at Maria's lab, and she also Maria also works with this guy named Albert, and Albert is the one that injects Raina with the injections that I was talking about. He also gives her like more of the stimulant so she could give it to Xander and stuff like that, because like again, he sells it to people to help them out, even though it's killing them. So, and of course, I want to say she takes the money, and she also takes the stimulants as well, like the extra stuff that he gave her while he's injecting her with a stimulant and with the virus that I was telling you about. And so then when before she leaves, she greets the soldier, and the soldier is surprised that he greeted her. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that before we meet Albert, this guy comes in wanting to talk to Maria, and his name is, I want to say, I don't mean to sound like that. I ain't mean to say like that, like but yeah, I want to say this guy name, what's his name? Okay, Colonel Zane. That's his name. He comes in and he is the, I want to say he's the, he's one of the, basically he's in the division 0 or null division. And basically this division handles external, like, they handle external recon and also expeditions beyond the walls. And it says that, like, the null division, officially part of the second division, is operatives report directly to the chancellor. And so, of course, we meet Colonel Zane, and Zane is also one of our love interests. And if I haven't said it, Xander and Maria is also our love interests. Like, our love interests and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we meet Colonel Zane. He doesn't bat an eye to us, which is understandable, because he's doing his job. So I don't expect him to be like, "Hey, how you doing? You looking good?" Like, I don't expect him to do all that. So I didn't understand. I didn't understand why Raina got, like, upset, like, was, like, irritated why he didn't, like, notice her, because he's on a mission. Like, clearly he had to tell Maria or ask Maria, like, he has to have like a private conversation with Maria for some reason. So of course he's not going to care about, like, somebody that he doesn't know and stuff like that. So, which is understandable, but I do agree that he should have spoke or something. But hey, we spoke to him. Like, I didn't see the big deal of not, like, so I spoke and stuff like that. However, when you do speak to him, like, when you do, like, because he's about to leave, when you do say goodbye, Colonel, this is when he's taking a note of you, because you literally said something to him, because he wasn't gonna say nothing to you. He was gonna leave, but I just thought that was funny. But anywho, what else? Okay, like I said, back to, like, after, like, you had your little deal with Albert and stuff like that on the sneak tip, soldiers come in to visit Albert, and it sounds like he's getting arrested. So Raina decides to just run. I'm thinking, like, you ain't had to run, because, like, well, there's two choices. It's to ditch ditch the contraband that she has, or to run with it. I chose to run with it and stuff like that. And I don't understand why this was a choice. Mainly because, in my opinion, no one comes after her. Like, even when she does run, no one comes after her. No one bats an eye. No one thinks, like, oh my goodness, why is she running? It's so suspicious. None of that. So I didn't understand, like, I get it that, like, this would affect the plot, because, like, you had two options, which would dispose of the contraband or run with the contraband. However, like, nothing happens if you, like, run with it. So it makes me wonder what happens if you just dispose it. Is somebody gonna be on your tail? I doubt it. So I just thought that was interesting. And when that happens, we get back to, because I forgot to mention, I'm sorry that I forgot to mention this, but I forgot to mention in the beginning of episode 1, we see her, like, you know, she has a hood, she has her coat up and, like, her hood up, like, on her face, and she's trying to blend in with the crowd and stuff like that, and she sees cops and stuff, and sees soldiers and stuff, she doesn't know why they try and look for her. Well, she thinking they looking for her, and then she's like, but she's trying to get to another sector. Like, she's trying to get out of the sector that she's in, which is C-162. She's trying to get out of that because, again, like I said, she's thinking that the soldiers that she see in the beginning of this episode, she's thinking, oh, they after me. And then she's getting close to the gate, and then next thing you know, there's a there's like alarm, and the lights turn red and stuff like that by the gates that she's about to go to. And so we go back to that beginning, which I'm so sorry that I forgot to tell you about that beginning. But yeah, we go back to that beginning after she still has the contraband and stuff like that. We go back to that beginning, and instead of like the alert system saying that they looking for somebody, they basically said that like there's a class, what a rank 3 Hades that is basically like coming at C-162, which is where she at. And of course she's like, what? Because again, she's thinking people after her, but ain't nobody's after her. In my opinion, I don't feel like no one's after her. But like, that's where episode 1 ends and episode 2 begins. So of course, we find out that there's a rank 3 Hades basically about to attack C-162, and everybody has to get to the shelters or make it to the gates before the gates close. Because like once the gates close, and they also give you background stories on that, once any Gorgons attack a section of a city, they shut everything. And they shut everything, and if there's anybody still in that sector, they have to just seek local shelter and stay there until like the monster is gone or is killed. And so of course, Raina is trying to make it out of the gate, and before she can, this guy who was beside her and was like telling her and other people to get going, because like once people heard this, they just froze and got scared. But like him and other people are like kind of trying to tell people like, come on, let's get out here, we got to survive. So and the only reason why I'm mentioning this guy is because there's a choice that comes up where the guy that was talking, that was saying like, hey, move on it. He falls on you, and you have an option to pick either check on the man or take care of yourself. Look, like maybe I'm just a nice person, but I chose to check up on him because like he fell on top of you, so it's like at least make sure he's okay and stuff like that. I know that you shouldn't in this environment, but hey, I decided to do, and apparently that will affect my choice. But either way, we check on him, he's all right, he apologizes, and Raina says it's fine. However, unfortunately, the gate that she's trying to go to is closed, and so now she has to seek local shelters. Now, why is she trying to do that? Now, I forgot to mention, but like also when chaos was going on, because like the alert, there was a mother looking for her daughter, and her daughter name is Nika, and she was like, Nika, where are you, and stuff like that. So that was before the whole chaos ensued and things like that, and people started trampling over each other. But yeah, like, so after Raina, checks on the guy, make sure the guy's okay. She tries to go, like, tries to figure out what to do since like the lockdown has happened, and now she just has to survive and get to a local shelter quick. Now she also sees this little girl. She's crying. She's looking for her mama, and she puts two and two together that this is probably Nika. That the woman that the mother was like, this is Nika. So of course, also the I want to say the Gorgon, aka I'm talking aka the Gorgon name Hades. We also see how Hades look, and let me tell you, Hades just looked like a gigantic, big ass worm with a big ass like worm with hands, with like small arms. That's what it looked like and stuff. And I don't know why, but I laughed at that. Like side note, I laugh at that. Now in real life, if we see a worm that big, and it's 10 feet, by the way, um if someone see that a worm that big in real life with hands, of course they'd be mortified. But I the image of it, because you do see how it looks like, is is very funny looking. But I digress. Also, like, Raina says, like, like, it's like scream, it's roars, kind of sound human like, which I'm not gonna lie, that makes me. I have a theory about the whole Colossi and stuff like that, but we'll get to that later. We get to at the end of this video. But anywho, there's a choice where you could save the girl or save yourself. I chose to save the little girl because, like, why not? That's a baby. Like, it literally says she looks like she's only 5 years old. Come on. Like, who's not going to save a 5-year-old kid? Like, who's not? You can't be that heartless. Anyway, she's end up saving the 5-year-old kid. And she does get injured and stuff like that. But she and the kid ends up, like, being okay because once she gets out of the area, she also realizes that she has to change her clothes because not only is Hades is this rank 3 Hades out and about, but you also have other Gorgons. We don't know what these Gorgons are really called. They just call Gorgons. But they're like, they walk on 4 legs. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a wolf man in my opinion. I'm just saying it looks like a werewolf type of creature. But anywho, um but yeah, when Raina, cause she ends up changing her clothes and stuff like that because, like, she had blood on herself, and the Gorgons, that is like the 4-legged Gorgons, they could smell your blood, so that's why she changed and stuff like that. And then she and the kid, they try to go to the shelter. She knows where one of the shelters are located and stuff like that. But before she could get to the shelter, of course, um, she ends up. What actually, it depends on what path you choose and things like that. But the path I chose, she she and Nika ends up meeting with the Gorgon, and she has Nika hide, and Raina decides to basically kill the Gorgon herself, which wasn't a hard thing to do, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of badass, but that's just me. Anywho, they finally make it to a shelter, and of course, this jackass decides. Oh, I shouldn't say that. This jerk decides not to let Raina in, but let Nika in. And of course, Nika doesn't want to like leave without Raina, but like Raina tells her like everything's gonna be okay, and she's still going to find her mom, because that was one of the things that that Raina had promised Nika before like before they had their like adventure. So like, yeah, before they had a little like, adventure and stuff like that. And of course, Nika ends up going into the shelter, and Raina just stands at the door trying to figure out what to do next, because this jerk act like he ain't want to let her in, and she's trying to figure out, okay, where's the next shelter, because like there might be more Gorgons that are going to come after her, and even though she killed one of them, that don't mean she gonna kill this one. So like, she's just thinking she's screwed. However, this guy is talking to the guy that had rejected her interest in her entrance into the shelter. He's like, hey, because I forgot what Nika mama's name. I forgot her name that quickly, but he was like, what's so and so daughter doing here? And the guy that rejected Raina says, oh, some woman brought her here, and the guy, well, his name is Carl. Carl is like, and she's still out there? And the guy was like, yeah. And he was like, you know what, move. And then the guy was like, no, I'm not moving, there's too many people in here. And then Carl like, I don't care who he is, move out the way. He opens the door and he sees that and we find out that Carl is actually the guy that we checked on, who was injured and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, but look who he is. Like, he's smiling. He was like, come on in, Savior. And then she's like, thank you. Like, Raina's crying. She's like, thank you, and stuff like that. And I don't know if that really warmed my heart and stuff like that. Because it's like, you see what good deeds get you? It like, that's all you got to do. You just got to do one good deed. It ain't like you got to do, like a whole lot. But just one good deed will help, But anywho. So Raina's in this shelter, and the thing that kind of bothered me about this shelter is that we don't see Nika again, like, which I thought was very strange, because I thought as soon as we get in the shelter, I thought maybe like either Nika's mother would be in the shelter and she'd be like, mommy, like, they have a mother-daughter moment, or if as soon as Raina comes in, Nika comes and hugs Raina. We didn't get none of that. It's like Nika done disappeared. She doing her own thing, and Raina just in the shelter just chilling. And so anyway, like, hours have passed and the threat is gone, and now like medics come in and are helping people, like, checking to see if people are hurt and things like that. And we also meet another love interest, or a friend. In my case, another friend, because in my playthrough, I just have men preferences. And so the women are going to be my bestie. Like, hey, we need more besties. Anywho, and so we meet, that's sad. I forgot her name. Oh, Adriana. Okay. I'm thinking I could be giving her a new name. I could be giving her a new name. Yeah, no. Adriana. I'm thinking that's her name. Yeah, Adriana. We meet Adriana. She's a journalist. A famous one at that. And she wants to do a scoop on, like, basically what has happened and things like that. And so, and not only that, but like, we also see that there are some guys that, well, not guys, but soldiers that are there too. And Adriana noticed that Raina looks a little nervous, and so Adriana asks Raina, like, is she in trouble with the law? And then Raina's like, yeah. And then, of course, they make a deal, like, if they make a deal where, like, Adriana can take her out of Sector C-162 if she would be canon and give Adriana the scoop. And then, Raina's like, okay, cool. And why she did that, because Raina still got the contraband. She puts the contraband, I want to say, in the ventilation system of the car that of the vehicle that Adriana and Rhodey, who is her cameraman, are in, and stuff like that. And at the end of episode 2, we find out that, like, Adriana has taken Raina to the, I want to say, the central area of this, I want to say, like, just the central area, period, and stuff like that. And that's where it ends. And all I have to say is, I actually enjoyed the story. Now, will I continue it? Yes. I will actually continue it because it does seem interesting. However, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of, like, one of my prediction is, I feel like the monsters that the people are scared of is actually human beings that have been transformed into the monsters. That's what I feel like, because I kid you not, I want to say it's more in episode 2, but yeah, like, when Raina is describing the screams and cries of the rank 3 Hades, she kept saying it's so like their scream is so human like, and that got me. And then not only human like, but, like, the thing literally had arms. And when you see the other Gorgon, like the 4-legged Gorgon, I'm not gonna lie, it looked like a dude who's being mutated, because, like, he looked like a Wolfman, basically. That's what I'm saying. He looks like a modern day Wolfman. Like, if you if you either watch Locum Tenens 3 play this, or if you play this yourself, like, the 4-legged Gorgon, we don't know its name, so we just gonna go with Gorgon. Basically look like Wolfman. So it's like, again, I just feel like, of course, these monsters are people who the government has experiment on and stuff like that, which is, like, I guess it makes sense, but, like, it kind of makes you wonder why, in the sense. So I just want to know if my theory is true, why. Like, I kind of want to know the why is it like this. I don't know yet. Either way, like I said, I enjoyed playing episodes 1 and 2. I hate that we have to wait until April the 9th to April the 11th to get 2 more episodes. However, I don't mind waiting, because I feel like Romance Club always gives us good stories. And this is one of the ones where this is going to be a good story. And I do hope that Anton continues on the story, because you never know. But so far, I actually enjoy the story, and I do recommend people to play it. However, I will recommend to people to play it when it's, like, completely done and stuff like that. Though, if you are impatient like I am, you can play it now. But yeah, what else? I also, like I said, I like the fact that with the main character, you could change, like, whether she's athletic or curvy. And also you could just change her complexion. However, I do like the fact that her complexion like represents like a different city in this big ass stadium that they're in, because like that's what it looked like to me. Well, that's like in my head, and like from the different design, it just looks like a stadium of some sort. So that's what I'm saying. So but yeah, I like the fact that each complexion represents a city in this big dome thing. I'm gonna call it a dome thing, but anyway, in this big place and stuff. What else? Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Like, I actually enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, because it does give me a bit of Attack on Titan vibes. I'm thinking to myself, please don't have me having to kill the main character. That's all I ask for. Anton, please don't have me have to sacrifice my main character, because that's all I have to say. And you're probably thinking, Tay, what are you talking about? No, I'm not letting you know what I'm talking about. Like, if you asking like why I say that, like what they gotta do with Attack on Titan, they ain't got nothing to do with Attack on Titan. I'm just saying. Well, wait. Yeah, I'm just saying only because even though this is giving me Attack on Titan, it's the paths, like, sacrificing and stuff like that. I'm thinking to myself, that's the main reason why I didn't pick Dogma, because I was like, oh my goodness, because it says like sacrificing like a few people for the greater good. Like, no, we gotta find another way. Now, if we have to, like if we had no choice, sure. But if we do have choices, if we do have options, we gonna go for the options first, okay? That's all I have to say. Other than that, I enjoy this. I can't wait until we get more episodes of Advent number 3. And if you have made it this far into the video, I just want to say I thank you guys so much for actually wanting to hear me speak, okay? I enjoy each and every one of y'all. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, see ya!